Hey y'all, welcome to the Life After Her podcast with yours truly, Nicole and Sweeney. I am so excited that we are on episode number 13 entitled Tears, Denial, and God's Promises. In season two of my book, The Post Breakup, we go deep. Journey is learning more and more about what she's feeling, and she's discovering what life is like after this breakup with Case. Usually, I provide you guys with step by steps on how to overcome a situation, how to encourage your way through things that were difficult in your seasons of life, and how to live your life after hurt. But today's episode, I want to just share a little bit about my personal testimony. It was 3 years ago where God would have me to write a fiction novel. I always wanted to write a book, I just never knew how or what I would write about. And when the time had come for me to write my book, I knew it was nothing but God. And as I was preparing for today's episode, episode number 13, it took me back to that very place I was at 15 years ago. And it brought tears to my eyes and a smile to my soul, y'all. When I sat on my couch and read this short chapter, I just could not help but just be grateful. And tears of gratitude rolled down my face, and also tears of grief because I was mourning that experience that I had, and I could not believe how I was able to get through that moment. Now, how can a chapter named Tears, Denial, and God's Promises bring a smile to my soul? I'll tell you why. Because reading that chapter in 2024, when that moment happened in 2009, showed me how isolation was good for me. I know that is not a popular belief. No one wants to go through anything alone, especially when it's a difficult experience. But as I reflected on that, it actually was good for me. But back then, I didn't always think it was good for me. It took me 15 years to get to that place. I didn't think it was good for me because I felt rejected. I felt alone, unwanted, and unloved. Who wants to have those feelings? No one. But it was really a space where it was just me and God fellowshipping and communing with each other, and Him reminding me that actually it was the complete opposite. That moment of isolation for me, as I tell the story of Journey being at a park and how she just felt so alone and rejected. But what I've come to realize 15 years later was how I was actually loved and accepted and wanted all along. I didn't see it then, but I see it now. Reading that chapter was very difficult for me, but it was just a reminder of how God was able to carry me through every cry, every groan, every question, every self doubt, every angry moment, every frustration, every wonder on God, when is this going to get better? Or is this going to be my life forever? God carried me through that moment. He carried me through that moment with faith, with grace, and with a lot of love. And I don't know what chapter of your story and where you have landed today, but I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you not to give up, to not give up on yourself or on God, and to remind you that you have to put feet to your faith and keep walking forward. There are so many blessings, so many healing moments, so many people, so many opportunities that God is going to bring to you. But you have to keep walking. You have to add feet to your faith. And so, if you are in a season where you just don't know where life is going to end up next, or you can't see your way through the tunnel because it's so dark, you have someone that you can look at and see that if God did it for her, he could do it for me. I am a living witness that God will bring you out. And not only will he bring you out, he will make your blessings so sweet, so amazing, so miraculous that you will say in turn, it was like that bad experience never happened. I know because God did it for me. And so that concludes today's podcast episode entitled Tears, Denial, and God's Promises. And I'm excited because God has more in store for me. Who would have thought years later that I would be writing a fiction novel on my personal experiences? So stay encouraged and remember that God is proud of you. I look forward to you guys tuning in next week. Peace.